All right, so you decided Fort Collins is where you want to be. You quit your job, you canceled your lease, you sold your house, you packed your bags, you packed your family up, and now you're here. Now what? How do you make Fort Collins feel like community? Maybe you came from somewhere where it was very tight-knit, you loved your friends, you loved your neighbors, and now you're moving somewhere where you know nobody but your family or just yourself. I moved out here by myself. And so how do you make friends? How do you make Fort Collins feel like a community? It's so important when you move somewhere new that you do get immersed and you do meet people, because it's gonna increase your chances of loving it here and experiencing opportunities that you wouldn't even know that were possible. Being a part of the community is so much bigger than yourself. It's also the impact that you can have on the community as well. So today, I'm gonna be talking with you guys about how to find community in Fort Collins, Colorado. Now, I personally did move here for college. If you've seen my other videos, you know that. And you're like, wait a second. I understand. We're gonna pretend like I didn't come here for CSU. I'm now 25. We're now gonna talk about like what I would do right now if I moved here and how I've met most of the friends that I have now. Because while I did have a lot of friends in college, I'm still friends with a lot of them. There's a lot of the people I spend the bulk of my time with now are actually not from college. And so I'm gonna be coming from that perspective of if it was me, if I was moving here today, what would I do and how would I make friends in Fort Collins, Colorado? All right, so we're gonna start with a little pep talk, okay? I could give you 5,000 ways to meet people, but if we don't first just talk about you and the energy and the person that you bring to the table, then it's gonna be difficult to meet people. So just making sure that you are, first of all, open to meeting people, okay? If you're gonna sit in your house and not engage and your neighbor waves and you don't even make eye contact or even acknowledge them, like it's gonna be hard for you to meet people, and none of these ways I'm gonna tell you are gonna help. So just the biggest thing is being open to it, embracing the awkward, because it's gonna be awkward. When you are in a room with let's say you've met one person and they invite you to something, and you're in a room where everybody knows each other, everybody they have their jokes and all the experiences that they've shared together, and you haven't experienced any of that, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it's gonna feel awkward, but you're just gonna get over it and it's gonna be fine. You're not even gonna think about it, okay? So, number one, the easy one is, which every single person moving here, whether you are single, a family, male, female, super young, super old, it doesn't matter. Connect with your neighbors. Now, unless if you're living in like the middle of nowhere, which is kind of hard to do in Fort Collins, you're gonna have a neighbor within at least like an acre or two from you, I would have to assume. And so first is just connecting with your neighbors, and it doesn't have to be your direct neighbor, but just your neighbors around. If you're out walking with your kids or your dog or just by yourself, wave, say hi. It's easy to spark conversation. I've done it with my neighbors so many times, and it's a great way to meet people. And in those conversations, you can ask, how long have you been here? What do you like to do? Easy things to ask so that then you can see if you have commonalities. And if you're feeling that vibe, then like maybe you can ask them to get coffee and say, hey, I'd really like to know somebody here. I'm brand new. You seem cool. Let's go get coffee. It's super easy, but you may need to put yourself out there to start that initial interaction, but it's good practice. It's good for you. Get out of your comfort zone. I actually went to a ladies' night on Wednesday, Jessup Farms. On Wednesdays, they do half price bottle wines. I'm not a huge wine drinker, but I love half price. And so my friend invited me, and she actually, I know her because I helped her family relocate here from Virginia Beach, and they haven't even been here a year yet. They're renting before buying. And she invited all these ladies. And I was like, you haven't even been here a year yet. So definitely possible. There was a few ladies that couldn't come, but there was 2 other ladies besides us 2 that were there. And I was like, how do you guys all know each other? One was her neighbor, and the other one they met at a playground because their kids are similar ages, and they sparked up conversation, and now their kids play together. So definitely so many ways you can meet people, and super fun way to just get to know other people. A second way is team sports and leagues around here. We have quite a few clients that have joined soccer clubs around here, soccer leagues, co-ed, male, female, whatever you want it to be. The Fort Collins Soccer Club offers multiple different teams that you can be a part of, especially enjoying the 300 plus days of sun around here. Why not get outside, be active, meet some people who love the same sport, and have fun. We also have, if you go to gokickball.com, it's they have kickball, I think it's indoor kickball, and then beach volleyball. I'm not 100% sure. I have quite a few friends who do it. And last night actually was at a health and wellness event, and there was a few girls that walked in. They're like, hey, I know you, to one of the other girls. And they're like, yeah, I came to the kickball. Like, do you do kickball? I came to kickball. So I have not personally partaked, but there's so many people that I know that do it. And so if you don't know anyone and you love playing sports, get into something like that. That's a great way to meet people. If you have a bit more of a Western side to you and you're coming with a horse, or you're able to get your hands on a horse to use, team roping, cowboy mounted shooting, We have a lot of those events going on here all the time. And so just get on Facebook groups and you'll be able to find those kind of events around here too, if that's your niche. Number 3, for people who are working here. When I first came to CSU, my second year I was at Sushi Jeju, my third year I was at Silver Grill before I started working for Pat here at Sukup. And most of my friends during that time, besides the friends I'd made at CSU, were my coworkers. And so you're spending so much time together, you're bound to, especially being a server, you are bound to have lots of conversation, talk about each other's lives, and so you're gonna find some common interests. We would go hiking, we'd spend 4th of July together. I mean, there's so many things you can do with the people that you work with, and you can start with, if you work in a more, is it conventional? I think that's the word. More of a conventional environment, like a 9 to 5, where you have like a break room, then go and eat your lunch in the break room and be open to engaging. Don't have your headphones in, don't be glued to your phone. Talk to the people around you. That's a great way to meet people, and super close, super convenient, and you could go get a drink after work. Start with something simple. Number 4, this is a way that I personally have made so many friends in the last year, is finding a church community in Fort Collins. We have so many of them. I, before last year, was driving down to Flatirons, Colorado to go to a church. And while going there on a Sunday, not a big deal, being able to engage with the people that you meet, who often, most of them all live down there, was pretty hard. And so last year I decided I want to find a local church here in Fort Collins. We have so many gospel preaching churches around here. And so I started looking around, and actually a year ago today, I decided that where I go now is where I want to call my church home. We have our fall festival tonight, and I remember going last year. I'd visited that church 2 times, and I wasn't super sure. And I remember going to the fall festival with my friend, and multiple people came up to me and was like, "Hey, Izzy, hey, how are you doing?" And I was like, "How do they know? How do they remember me? They met me 1 time or 2 times." So just felt super at home, super welcomed. Never been a part of a community like this before, and so it's been super rewarding. And what's also super great about that is there's a lot of things for kids. So if you have kids, a great way for your kids to meet friends. There's often women events, men events, and so a great way to meet other men and women. Volunteer opportunities. We do like a toy packing event in the wintertime, and I remember doing it last year. I'd never done anything like it, and it was so much fun, and being able to serve people at the same time. So that personally is a way that I have made so many friends, and it's a bulk of the people I spend my time with now. And it's a great way to meet people that share common values and beliefs with you here in Fort Collins. Number 5, if you love the arts, performing arts, theater, dance, crafts, circus. I didn't know that was a thing until I did some research for this part. Fort Collins is a huge advocate of the arts. I mean, walk around town, it's very obvious to see how much this town cares about the arts. And so if you go to the Fort Collins Creative District, you can look it up online, and there are so many links to dancing schools, art labs, pottery, like I said, circus school I saw on there, painting, I mean, everything, you name it. If that's something that you love to do, then why not join a class, meet some people, and you'll feel right at home with people who share a very similar passion to you. And then you can, take that out of the classroom and go on a hike or whatever it is y'all like to do. Number 5 is joining some kind of networking group, referral group. I personally started a network marketing business 3 years ago, and a majority of the people that I've met through that are like family now. And so that is a great way to meet people if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in business. There are so many groups around here that you can be a part of, and so you can strengthen your business, grow your business, as well as just growing community and people who have like-minded values and growing themselves and personal development and things like that. So that's another way that I personally have made a majority of the friends that I have now here in Fort Collins. Number 7, going to the playground or the dog park. If you have kids or you have a dog, don't go if you don't have either. That's a little weird, but going to one of those places is a great way to meet people. If you're new to engaging with people, being the first to engage, it's a super simple like, "Hey, super cute dog," or "I really like your kid's jacket." And if someone barely acknowledges you, maybe not the person you want to talk to, but if they're like, "Hey, thanks, I really like your," super easy to start conversation. "Hey, are you from around here? I'm new. I'm looking to meet new people. What do you do for fun? How long have you lived here?" Easy. And then the conversation can just flow. And the hope is that you find something that you connect with, so that then it's super easy to take it outside of the dog park, outside of the playground. Like I said, that's how my client and friend met one of the people that we all had wine with on Wednesday. Actually, the way that I found the church I go to is I was at a dog park in Wellington with my pup, and my friend, shout out to Jinya, she walked up to me, she complimented my dog training skills, which was a compliment in itself because I've never had a dog before. And we just realized we had so much in common. I'm from England. She lived in England. She had cowboy boots on. So I was like, you a horse girl? And I'm a horse girl. So such an easy way to connect. And she introduced me to this whole church community that's now been a huge part of my life this last year. So you never know where you're going to meet someone and what impact they're going to have in your life. So even if, and the next thing I'm going to say, the next way to meet people, I'm going to just go into that, is community events. Now, you may, if you're like me, I'm a little bit of an introvert, an extroverted introvert. I love people and I love one-on-ones. I don't love big crowds. I don't love going to things where I don't know people. But the thing is that you just have to get out of your comfort zone and go do those kind of things, because you truly never know when you're gonna meet, where you're gonna meet someone. Last night at our wellness event, there was a girl there that I was like, you seem cool and I wanna be your friend. And she left early and I was like, I'll get her information from the host. And this morning when I was out walking my pup, the host actually texted me her number and was like, hey, she really liked you. And I was like, I liked her too. So you never know how you're gonna meet people. You just gotta be open to it and just be a joyful person that people wanna be around, because no one wants to be around a bum, you know what I'm saying? Like and also be like willing, now like have discernment here, but like be willing to share about yourself and be genuine. No one wants some surface level, everything's perfect, my life's perfect, I have no issues. Nobody wants that, and it's not true for anybody. So, once you get comfortable with someone, make sure you open. I bet you didn't think this was gonna be a video about how to actually make friends too, did you? But I think it's important to just, I know a lot of people struggle with, yes, I'm around a lot of people all the time, but how do I make friends? How do I build connections? It's being genuine. And it's also not talking about yourself as much and showing an interest in other people, asking them questions, because everybody loves talking about themselves. So be a listener, be a good listener. So anyway, back to community events, block parties. I literally, look at this. I looked up on Google, Fort Collins events, okay? And it brought up just like a whole calendar on Google. Today we have Fort Collins Foodie Walk. Today, 5 to 8 p.m., downtown Fort Collins. Darlingside, don't know who that is, but it's some band, is coming to the Armory tomorrow at 1 a.m. That's a little late for me, but if you're into that, 1 a.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow, 5:30 to 9 at the Fort Collins Marriott Hotel, Murder Mystery Dinner Theater. That's cool. I mean, literally, there are so many. We have a farmer's market. I mean, like, there are so many ways that self-defense class I just saw. So many events here in Fort Collins. I mean, like, if you're not making friends, I have to ask, are you putting in the effort? And if you don't have the time, then make friends where you are. Playground, if you go to the same coffee shop, like you start to see the same people in there, be like, hey, I see you in here all the time. Easy, it's easy. It's way easier than you think it is. All right, the last one is, if all else fails, if all these things feel too heavy, too weighty for you to do, then obviously there's the Bumble Friends app, there's the Nextdoor app, there's Facebook groups. If you feel more comfortable initially meeting someone on the screen, I think like there's so many opportunities to meet someone organically here. And I think it's good for the soul to do that. But if that is out of your comfort zone, there are so many apps that you can use to meet people, especially Facebook groups, local Facebook groups around here. Up in Wellington, we have something called Let's Talk Wellington. It's on Facebook. It's basically our neighborhood Facebook page. But I'm pretty sure Wellington only has like 11,000 people living there, and there's like 16,000 members on the page because it's just a very popular page. And I've typed on there, like, my cat's missing, and like 20 comments. And some people were just like, we hope you find your cat, And so I've seen people post in there, hey, looking for a job, hey, looking for a friend, like this is a little bit about me. I'd love to meet some new people here. So there are truly so many ways to meet people here in Fort Collins, Colorado. So there you have it. That's how you can make friends and find community here in Fort Collins, Colorado. If you are looking to relocate here to Fort Collins, we would love to help. There's nothing I love more than helping people relocate, as I'm reminded every time why I feel so blessed to live here myself and get to show people, like, these are all the reasons I fell in love with it. And get to watch those people fall in love for the same and their own unique reasons. So if you have any questions, call, text, email us, DM me on Instagram. I loved being here. Again, video number 3. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, let us know so that Pat lets me keep coming on the channel. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.